I've been playing Street Fighter since it came out in '87. The first game was atrocious. Street Fighter 1 was really atrocious. Really slow, really unbalanced because, like, if you learn how to do the wonky Shoryuken and Fireball, you could do, like, 25% damage, or in the case of a Dragon Punch, 80% damage on the hit. I'm not going to go through every single version of Street Fighter. That'd be ridiculous. But I've never seen a clearly balanced game engine like Street Fighter 6. When I saw how basic but how important this drive meter is, I was like, damn, they finally got it right. Because the way EXs work are the same as always, but now it just takes up this bar instead of this bar. And it's been that way since Street Fighter 3, Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5. If you do an EX move, it takes up the super bar. But now it doesn't. It takes up this bar. So it's a resource you have to manage. So you can do like a lot of EXs, but you gotta wait for your drive bar to come back. It's like everything else in the game, like the DIs, and basically all the drive moves have to do with this one. The pairing is everything, this move, etc., etc. Everything's involved in this meter up here. So all your super stuff here is over here. So if you want to like absorb an attack and recount your attack, you can do that with this meter. If you want to parry, you do with this meter. If you want to go for a quote-unquote Roman cancel per se, you do with this meter. Everything like that one. And that's really cool that they use this up. It's a constantly regenerating kind of state there. As long as you're offensive, it'll fill back up a little bit faster. So that's really cool. If you block, it goes down instead of taking chip meter. I realized that part. I was looking very carefully at a lot of videos of Maximilian. You don't take chip damage in the game at all as long as you have drive meter, which is a very interesting concept. I've never seen a game like that before. Now, when I was in the movie theaters, I was, thinking about something interesting. And I thought of this drive meter reminds me of something. I know Capcom didn't come up with this like by themselves. It's akin to the Art of Fighting gouge from part 1. The way it worked in Art of Fighting is, whenever you do a special move, whether it be a fireball, a hurricane kick, a dragon punch, whatever, whenever you would do any special move at all, your meter up here would go down and then gradually go back up over time. If you do, I think they had super moves back then. I think they did. But if you did, like, the whole thing drained away and then, like, it starts going back to normal. You can even drain your opponent's meter in that game by taunting them. I'm not sure if it was attacks or whatever, but definitely by taunting them, you can make their ego or whatever drain down more and more, stuff like that. You can actually pump yourself up by taunting yourself there. You make yours go up while theirs goes down. So it reminded me kind of that meter. Of that way, but back then they didn't have like EXs to worry about or like drive impacts, FADCs, no, none of that stuff there. Just basically, you do a special move, this goes down little by little there. Eventually, it drains out, and then you can't use any specials at all in that game. So in this game, when your drive meter goes down to 0, you're in like a panic state. You go back into the Street Fighter 2 era of defense. Now everything does chip. You still could do supers, but you can't do all the fancy stuff. So you literally go back to Street Fighter 2. Super Turbo, if you will. You can't do any fancy stuff, and you can only rely on your supers. That's it. And you'll take chip damage now, just like you did back then, which is probably a really cool concept that they thought of by design. So I'm enjoying what I see here because it's very simple but difficult to master. When I saw V trigger and FADC, I thought difficult to master and difficult to pull off properly. immediately. The moves that require for this one are two buttons, just like V skill and V trigger, right? However, in those games, you had to like space it properly to make it so you don't get hit by something. All the V triggers, V skills are very different per character, but the main difference, what makes this game balanced compared to Third Strike, which you put a 4, you put a 5, yada yada yada, is the fact that this meter over here is universal. For what I know, for right now, at least with 5 characters revealed there, the length of everybody's drive impact is the same. And that's very important. Because if you can like space it out properly and like if someone's is like super long, like it ends over here and it starts right here and yours ends over here, another person starts right here, but then like ends right in front of them, big disadvantage. From what I can tell there, everybody's drive impact is like from right here to right about here, about normal space per se. So no one character has an advantage when it comes to drive impacts. And why that's important is because drive impact is going to be the it's the most important part of the game. It's clearly the most important part of the game. It only costs 1 meter. It absorbs, I think, 2 or 3 hits. I think it's like, yeah, I'm not sure. Like some of these market kicks there, definitely like at least 2 hits. It absorbs multiple hits, and when it connects on the opponent there, they lose meter, and you get a free combo afterwards. But also, if you do the drive impact in the corner, you get another special effect, and it doesn't matter how much meter they have. If they parry it or whatever, that's the way it is. It reverses that one. But if they don't parry it, rock paper scissors, they get a wall bounce, and they get knocked up against the wall, and then they get like open to like another attack. And if they're low on meter, when you do the exact same thing, then they get stunned. So it's a nice little game of cat and mouse, with of course rock paper scissors at the forefront. So will they parry? Will they jump out of the? They can't jump out of the way because of the speed of the drop impact. Will they go to the way? You can throw a drop impact. You can throw that too. So it's a rock paper scissors game. Once you get in the corner there, you go for a tick throw or a tick drop impact into something there. So it's going to be very interesting what happens in the corner. It's going to be very very dangerous in the corner in this game compared to other games because you're going to be losing some meter. You're going to be like you could like take big damage there. So it's best that you stay away from the corner as much as possible. Hopefully Ryu doesn't have that get out of jail free card. Like the hurricane kick that goes up here and then over here for free. Fuck out of here with that shit. That shit costs meter. From here to there over nah. The only way that a move like that should like be free, um, I can't think of the top of my head why a move like that should be free. You should be able to jump out of the corner over their head and then go there for free. If someone like has like an anti-air move like right about here, then it should be free. Be like if most characters have the anti-air right about here, yeah, it should be free. Because you shouldn't be able to get out of the corner for free like that one. You should be able to like hit the opponent or tech throw, mixed space, but not a free jump out or whatever. That's bullshit. Ken can do that in Third Strike. I think Ryu can do that also in Third Strike. Akuma can do that in Third Strike, etc., etc., etc. So so the meter down here is only for special with super moves, critical arts, whatever you want to call them. And the only gripe I think with that is the fact that, of course, naturally, only Ryu's has a special attachment graphic to it. But I've never seen him have that move before, and it doesn't really make sense for the character. His hands glow with lightning, and he does a Denjin Shoryuken. What the fuck? I'm so stupid. So his the only one that has extra animation in there. The other ones don't. So that's privilege to Ryu once again. So at least it doesn't have that medium bullshit from Street Fighter Five. So what the fuck is that about? What the fuck are they smoking? Here's the only super in the game that has a visual difference when it comes to like Dire State Critical Art Level 3. So let's get the other characters with some shit like that. Maybe like Chun-Li with some blossoms around her. Maybe like what's his name? Jamie with some drinking jugs around him, or a can of some cans of spinach for Luke or whatever when he does his something different. But right now, only Ryu has something different when it comes to this dire critical art. So that's the only gripe with that one. But balance wise, it's never been more balanced I've seen ever in any Street Fighter game. Because, like I said, once again, because these are the same for everybody. There's no stocks. There's no stocks per se. You can't stock like multiple level ones per se. You could do level ones. I think honestly, when I was thinking about this one, the main imbalance of this is someone because they're all the same invincible shit. They're all the same invincible, which is good. The only thing that would make this game unbalanced is if because everything else is balanced because it's the same rules for everybody up here, the same distance for everybody up here when it comes to that one. This is the only one, and because of the past nature of Street Fighter, some characters will get multiple good level ones they can use over and over again. Ryu will likely get 3 level ones he can use like Shinko Hadouken for stuff there, which is like when I saw how little damage it did there. Yeah, it should do level damage because it probably juggles in the air. You can throw it out at any time. It's invincible as well. It should not be doing a lot of damage. So it's like so that's the main thing. Whoever gets the best level 1, they'll be the best person in the game because they can do that thing that's really good 3 times. You can only do level 2 once, and then level 3 only once. But if you have a really good level 1, you can do it 3 times in the match. Okay, it's like this. What if Urian's Aegis Reflector is a level 1, if they bring Urian in the game? What if his Aegis Reflector is level 1? You can throw out 1 mirror for a level 1, a level 1. That's what I'm talking about. What if they have Elena in the game, and her healing is level 1? And she's like 25% life back for level 1 with no downsides. What if they have I don't know what if they have Akuma? Oh, they're definitely gonna have Akuma in the game, and his level 1 probably will be a Go Hadouken, which is like a much wider range Go Hadouken. He can like do a Hurricane Kick, reset you into the air, and then force you to eat the level 1 because you're flipping out of the air, and you can't parry in the air in this game. Even if you could parry in the game, when you parry in Third Strike in that game, it's still hard to read because he's right next to you, and because in that game in Third Strike, you're stuck parrying while he can move. You have no idea what's going to happen next. So basically, it's free damage. You got to be careful with that one. Like a free fly like you just do in the air like that one after a reset, that's going to be like hella bad. For Akuma, it should be level 2. For Akuma level 2 to do that kind of fireball stuff, because you can't be like having free resets until like full damage level 1. So whoever gets the best level 1 in this game will be the best character in the game. I guarantee it. Everything else is fair and balanced, except for that level 1 stuff, because you can do that 3 times. If you have a really good, hard to get out of level 1, you're going to rule the game. Count on that one. That's it for now. Clack off.